Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Rosalie Reads here. This is the night before I start actually recording this video. But just a little pre-talk before we get into the video. The reason why I haven't been uploading, even though I said I was going to. Okay, Annie, okay, take a chill pill, we're fine. No need to do that. Jeez. This is already a disaster. Okay, well, how about you come over here? Because Annie doesn't like to be around anybody. So, Snowman, quit coming over here. I will edit this out in post. Okay. Alright. So anyway, I was just saying, I said I was going to be more constant with my videos, and it appears I have lied. Because of the fact that when I moved to Texas, we did not take into consideration the whole school situation. So we will be going back to California soon. I don't know when, but soon. This situation is not better than the last one in Virginia. So we're gonna go back to California, but until then I'm doing online school classes. And I kind of like it more than actual school. But that being said, I have to catch up on my work because I have not been doing my schoolwork since the beginning of the year because I did not have this opportunity to do online classes. So now I've got to catch up. And that being said, I have 4 classes on this online course. And I have been busting my balls trying to get these classes to 50% each. So I've got 2 classes, 50% each, because I've been busting 60-hour weeks when it comes to this online course, just so I can get 50% on those 2 classes. So now I have to figure out how to get these other 2 classes to 50% before August 6th, which is my deadline to get this halfway through. Because progress reports coming out, and because this is an online class, they are more strict with it. And I've been pulling 10-hour days just so I can get it. So I am getting there. I really am. So I'm at 50 in 2 classes. So in my other 2 classes, I'm at 36, almost 37%. In the other classes, almost 24%. So I need to bust my ass to try to get the schoolwork done. I am going to record a video tomorrow, though, which is this video, so that way I can feel a little bit better. I feel like I'm actually accomplishing something, because I know I said I was going to get better with uploads, and with this, I know I need to do this more. This is obviously this work is obviously required. Videoing is not as important, so that being said, schoolwork's gonna get done, but I swear to God, I'm gonna have a video out soon, which is this video. And I'm gonna try to keep it constant until we go back to California, where we'll figure things out. So, that being said, that was a little intro over what's been going on. And then I will get back to you with the video tomorrow. We'll see where it goes, and that's it. I missed you. So, cue the intro. I will see you when the video starts. Love you. Hello guys, it's Rosalie Reads here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we'll be doing something a little bit different. However, before we do so, I do want to talk about a little incident that happened over the weekend that kind of blew the book talk and YouTube community for books all out of proportion. So there was an incident involving one of Emily Rath's books where a girl read them and then decided to go to a hockey game, which is the whole base concept of Emily Rath's books, the Pucking series. I don't remember what it's called specifically. I have not read these books, however, I have a little idea what they're about. That included hockey romance. So after reading these books, this girl went to a hockey game and started sexualizing the players, and however, the situation just blew out all out of proportion after she read these books. That being said, I do think it's a good idea to go ahead and state that we should not be sexualizing real people when we are comparing them to fictional characters at all, because it can make a lot of people feel very uncomfortable, and it's just, this isn't the place for it. As a community, and as these hockey players are looking at us, they think we're becoming more horrible than we actually tend out to be, and I just think we need to do a little bit better of separating reality and fiction when it comes to literature. Emily Rath, when she created these books, did not intend for this to happen. When she wrote these books, she just wanted to create something that she felt proud of and write these books for entertainment for others when she knows people like us love hockey romances. And this has actually been going on for a very long time, very long, even way before the April thing happened. As Emily Rath said, like, there's been a long history of people doing this. And it's just not right to compare fictional characters and then going and find their reality counterparts and just blowing everything out of proportion, sexualizing them. For the other party that was doing the sexualizing, I understand that she may be a little confused because she was quite literally encouraged by the NHL to do this to some of their hockey teams. Now, the hockey players have reached out, said this is very uncomfortable, they don't want their kids to be in this world that or not us particularly, but the readers that do this, to stop, because it does make them uncomfortable. So that being said, just a little PSA, we need to learn how to separate fiction and reality. Not everybody is going to understand, but with it being just like how women are sexualized and how we want to make that change, we need to show that we are also not willing to sexualize real people when it comes to the books we read. That being said, after the more communicative portion of this video, we'll get right into the video. As we know, today I'm going to be doing Colleen Hoover books that I've read ratings. Now, I've only read a few, 6, but I have quite a lot of thoughts on them, and there may be a part 2 if I do read some more Colleen Hoover books in the future. And of course, opinions always change, but these are my opinions now. So getting started, we're going to start with my first Colleen Hoover book. It Ends With Us. And how this video is going to work is I'm going to tell you my rating, the plot point, and then my thoughts. So originally, I first read this book about last year, and I gave it 5 stars. And the book is about Lily, who has grown up in an abusive situation with her father and her mother. Well, not her mother so much, but her father, yes, was the abuser, and her mother was dealing with that for a very long time. So was Lily, of course. We forget that parents don't notice that their children struggle when they're in an abusive relationship too. And Lily, coming out of this abusive relationship with her father, meets this guy named Ryle. Ryle is this surgeon, however, he has many red flags. Before she marries him, they're tied together, and he becomes abusive in his own way. And throughout that, the story kind of unravels from there. I will say I give this book 5 stars when I read it, because it was I was able to relate to it a lot more than I liked. With the whole father situation, I can completely relate with Lily on that. So, I bonded with the book. It's probably not a good idea to trauma bond with the book. However, this was a book that I felt like I was able to be seen through. So that is why I gave it 5 stars at the time of reading it. And quick PSA regarding this. Colleen Hoover is not one of my favorite authors. She's a great beginning author when you first start reading. However, because her books are easy to read, that's why I say that. However, some books have a lot of red flags. There is problematic themes throughout her books. Do not find your relationship with these men like Colleen Hoover creates. I am staying away out of the politics when it comes with Colleen Hoover. She has her own problematic scandals. I don't want to be anywhere near it. But disregarding that, just as the books, yes, problematic themes are used. And there's that. Continuing with It Ends With Us. Not my favorite Colleen Hoover book. However, it was the one that I bonded with, and that's the way I gave it 5 stars. It Starts With Us, which is the sequel to Colleen Hoover's book. I felt like with this one, it shows the aftermath of Lily and Ryle's relationship when she finally decides to leave him, and what she goes through with trying to take care of her child, her relationship with Atlas that is now slowly blossoming. And it's basically just the entire aftermath of it. This one I didn't enjoy as much, not gonna lie, and it's quite frustrating when a sequel doesn't live up to the original work. So that being said, I did give It Starts With Us 2.75 stars, and I read it about a year ago as well. My thoughts on this book was it was not the full closure that we needed from Lily, and I feel like Lily should have given a little bit more time before she started blossoming her relationship with Atlas. Yes, Atlas is a good guy, and it's definitely what she needs. However, I felt completely different about this when I first read It Ends With Us. I absolutely loved Atlas Corrigan. Now I feel like it was just the bare minimum from what you should get from a boyfriend. And those are just my thoughts now. That is why I gave it 2.75 stars. However, if you like Colleen Hoover and you want to read these, sure, but just be sure of the trigger warnings before you read them. As I said, there is a lot of abuse, trauma, physical altercations, and you should just be aware of that before you go through. God, do I not like this book? I really don't. November 9th is such a spectacle in a way because it's a whole thing full of lies. And originally, when I read November 9th, I gave it 3 stars. However, I actually just taken it down to 2 after thinking about the book. I read it 2 years ago. I just don't like this book. I think it's my least favorite book. My least favorite books of the ones she's written and the ones I've read. So for that with the plot, Fallon meets Ben. And Fallon, when she was younger, she thought her father started this house fire, which burned like 80% of her body. So she's just mostly burn marks on herself. She has blamed her father for this for many, many years. And with that, when she's at a diner with her father, she's arguing with him about the situation. Ben comes into play. He defends her at the beginning, and then they slowly hit it off. They start hanging out. However, they make a pact to only meet one time a year on November 9th. And so they end up doing this every year until we end up finding out a big plot twist that kind of throws me off. I feel like Ben isn't right for Fallon. I feel like Fallon shouldn't have forgiven him so easily when it comes to the subject matter. I think she should have just left Ben. I don't think she should have stayed with him. That is a couple that will definitely break up after the book. And as I've said, it's just not my favorite Colleen Hoover book. I'm not one of those people that if you like a book, wow, I'm not going to be friends with you. Your opinion is wrong. If you like the book, great. That's good. I see that people obviously like this book. It has 4 stars on Goodreads. And we obviously have just different points of view. Ugly Love. Now this one definitely is a lot of problematic situation. But at the time I was really in love with this book. I still love it. It's just, I would not look for this in a relationship. But to be honest, yes, that's true. So Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover is about Tate Collins meeting Miles Archer, which is her brother's best friend. And soon they start having a friends with benefits relationship until Tate slowly starts falling in love with him, even though he specifically said, I am not ready for love. I will never be in love because of stuff that happened to him in his past. I don't want to give away the spoilers. However, that is the situation. Tate falls in love with him, and in the end, he just ends up hurting her. Now with this one, definitely a lot of delicate subject matter. I do feel like there's a lot of things in this book that should not be supported. Like, Miles is this book would have been this thick had Miles had just gotten therapy. Now that being said, he does call her another girl's name in bed. So that's no bueno. But I read this book last year, gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. It's just, this is not something you should also be looking for in a relationship. And I will probably say that about most of Colleen Hoover's boy characters. Moving on to Verity. Now, the first thriller that I read was Colleen Hoover's Verity. I gave it 5 stars from last year as well. So Verity is about this author that is not able to speak. She is paralyzed. She cannot write anymore, so that they end up her husband ends up hiring Lowen to finish her series, because this is a beloved series. This is a beloved author of their time. So when she's hired, Lowen starts going through the scripts and she finds a lot of disturbing things. And then as she's going through these manuscripts, she is falling in love with Verity's husband while Verity is still in the house. And with that, once they start developing a relationship, some things start to go awry in the house. Lowen thinks she sees Verity moving, and then it comes out while Lowen as well is trying to figure out, why do I keep feeling like there's somebody watching me? Lowen starts getting a little bit nervous, and then she starts looking through the rest of Verity's things. And with that, she finds a lot of stuff that you would be surprised about. Gave it 4 stars. My thoughts are, plot twist was insane. I never would have expected it. Definitely one of my higher up Colleen Hoover books. I do not regret reading it at all. I read it in one sitting, like 7 hours, just sitting on the couch reading it, and oh my god, I fell in love with it, absolutely. It was such a good book. Reminders of Him. Now this book is a little bit more recent. I read it about a year ago, one sitting, 5 stars, and it's about Kenna, who is coming back to her hometown after being in jail for a while to see her daughter. Her daughter was taken from her because of something that happened a long time ago, involving her boyfriend after his death. And so with that being said, Kenna comes back to this town and everybody hates her because everybody thinks she's the cause of her boyfriend's death. And at this point, Ken is just like, y'all won't listen to me, but I'm still gonna try and see my daughter. And with that, she meets Ledger. Yes, Ledger. And Ledger is her boyfriend's best friend. And he is the first person, when he finds out who she is, he tells her, no, you cannot see your kid, you did all this, you caused all of this. But eventually, he hears her out. He tries to help get her daughter back in a way, and it's honestly just a heartwarming story of a family coming back together again, while also finding love in the process when you thought you would never find it again. I love this book. I still give it 5 stars. It's definitely more on the emotional side, however, it was really good. And I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I love a good found family trope. Even though it's not really found family, but they did find family with a Ledger, and he will be seen as her father figure from now on with her daughter. It's just very heartwarming. She tore my heart apart in this book, and then she put it back together again with it, which is quite a common theme. Most of these books were read when I was in a Colleen Hoover phase. As I said before, I'm not really a Colleen Hoover fan anymore, specifically just because these are beginner books, I feel. And it's just, I don't personally vibe with her books anymore. If she releases more stuff, sure, I'll read it, but it's not going to be the best thing known to man, you know? I'm still going to read some more of her books, just so we can get more content out. And because I do feel like I need to give the rest of her books a chance, because maybe all of them won't be so bad. I know I have Heartbones in my bag that I need to read. I want to read Regretting You. I want to read Layla. I want to just fully read her discography, which is the word for artists with music, but I don't know the word for books, so I'm going to just use it. And just so I can get to know her as an author more, I feel. We already know her as an author. There has been some allegations that I'm sure that I don't want to talk about because I don't know the full story, and I don't want to offend Colleen Hoover if she's actually been a part of these allegations, and I don't want to add more fuel to the fire either. So that being said, I will make a part 2 of this video soon, eventually. Just let me rack up a few more Colleen Hoover books and then I will get back to you. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one.